Nnamdi Kanu's sentence to be overruled as Justice Omotosho'S judgment suffers clarity. All right, my dear listeners, you can now see that the truth is finally gushing out as evidence to prove that Nnamdi Kanu is innocent is finally out to the open. Now, in this very broadcast, they have decided to give Nnamdi Kanu's case a typical look, making reference to the repealed law which Justice Omotosho made use of to deliver a judgment against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, granting him a life sentence. It is an overruled law and an overruled judgment, since the law used in granting Nnamdi Kanu a life sentence is already an abandoned and unexisting law. Such a law is not supposed to come to play in a case of high-level profile like that of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, the team has further argued that no legal proceedings have validity when based on an extinct law, unless a section 97 of the 2022 Act requires a pending charges to migrate to the new law, making the judge's action, invalid. The defense added that Nnamdi Kanu repeatedly demanded that they should show him the law because the law used against him is no longer exists. They compared that very situation to attempting to use colonial era or military era. The defense insists the entire trial is a nullity, lacking jurisdiction from the moment a repealed law was applied. Yes, commentators unanimously concluded that the appeal court will inevitably strike out the conviction, and that those laws used in granting Nnamdi Kanu a life sentence will now be overruled. A move that has turned Sokoto into a focal point for visitors and public attention. The central theme is that Kanu's detention and conviction are squarely focused on the appeal process, while he technically has 90 days to appeal process. Procedural rules mean he had only 14 days to file and formally register the appeal and to lodge supporting affidavit with the narrator, noting a countdown to December 4th as a deadline to finalize filings. The report highlights high-profile visits, most notably by Abia State Governor Alex, as evidence of political pressure and visible support for Kanu. Yes, suggesting a broader campaign to ensure his appeal is taken seriously. The most important element presented is the argument by the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Global Defense Consortium, a team of international lawyers said to be based in the US and UK, who has reviewed the trial record and concluded the High Court judgment is legally unsound and cannot survive at the appellate level. Their core contention is technical but decisive. Just Omotosho relied on a law that had been repealed, referred as TPA 2013, while the operative statement of trial was that of 2022. Now, my dear listeners, you can now see that everyone is still saying the same thing, as Omotosho keep failing and losing all the way. This is the reason why we will say that Nnamdi Kanu is already gaining, victory. Everything being equal, I must tell you that nothing can stop the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu this time, because already the law is already speaking for him. If the law of Nigeria can be speaking for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, tell me, what then can get him a life sentence? That very sentence of Justice Omotosho was an error. That is why you see that even both international and locally, Nnamdi Kanu keep gaining and winning the grounds. To ease Nigerians of this shame, Bola Ahmed Tinubu should use his power of autonomy and grant Nnamdi Kanu a merited release, because he merited and not a conditional. Are you getting now? Yes, because he didn't do anything. It is the Nigerian government that offended and that deserve to what to be questioned. Help share this video and let everyone be informed of this very criticality and this unbelievable action that has just been carried out by this animal kingdom called Nigeria. Thank you.